30th, 2020. The amounts appropriated for fiscal year 2020, 2019, 2020. General fund administration subtotal is $584,306. For building inspector, $47,748.
Question right there.
Yes.
Shouldn't that include the code enforcement?
That does.
It just
Does
doesn't
it?
read that way. It just,
Tiffany?
It's separate.
Oh, is it separate?
It's all
Sorry.
broken down separately, isn't it?
We had codes all at once, and once, I just read building inspector, so let me,
Oh, I'm sorry, you're asking the building inspector to the code.
Yes.
Is that what you're asking? Yes, it is.
Okay.
yes.
should it be broken down between the two?
It's just the wording of it. I thought you meant administration. And you meant-
Yeah, sorry,
I
the
understand the question.
building inspector for 47,748, that includes the whole codes, both of the two code
Yeah.
employees, correct?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Because the other paperwork we had just said codes, and then, is that,
It's the difference in the names and
Just
just
a-
switching everything over to codes rather than building inspector, so I'll make note of that too. So, in the future.
good question. Police department, $967,313. Fire rescue department, $286,385. General fund total from above, $1,885,752. Road District 15 total, $350,928. Water Department, $580,081. Sewer Department, $684,905. Water sewer total, $1,264,986. Ambulance, oh, I thought that was somebody asking a question. Ambulance service total, $31,154. Motor fuel tax, $202,408. TIF fund, $927,196. Tourism, $315,000. Parks, $21,945. Let's see here. Oh man, I have to bring my glasses in. Anticipated revenues by all sources from the Village of South Jacksonville for fiscal year 2019-2020. Real estate property taxes, corporate $195,000, police protection $242,000, road district $77,000, intergovernmental taxes, state income tax $325,000, replacement corporate tax $26,000, foreign fire insurance tax $7,200, retailers occupation tax $250,000, local use tax $100,000, simplified telecommunication tax $11,000, replacement tax road $6,200, motor fuel tax $85,000, ambulance service $15,000, donations $500, fines $25,000, franchise fees $35,000, grants $0, liquor license fees. Let me get my ruler out and make sure I don't make any mistakes here. Liquor license fees $30,000, permits $5,000, video gaming local share $120,000, rent $10,000, sale of equipment $100,000, rural fire protection $24,000, other miscellaneous and insurance $14,000, tourism $175,000, interest $15,000. Total $1,793,000. Tax increment financing district $690,384. Waterworks and sewage funds $1,220,000. Total waterworks sewage funds $1,234,800. Total anticipated revenues for 2019-2020 $317,184. Any questions, comments, or concerns? Okay. Well, if not, We can adjourn until 7 o'clock. A motion to adjourn.
So moved.
A second.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Dick, since you were up first, we want mind leading us in the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to
the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Todd Ward,
Still here.
Greg Nelson,
Here.
Tom Jordan,
Here.
Dick Samples,
Here.
Paula Stewart,
Yes.
Jason Hill, Harry Jennings,
Here.
John Green,
Here.
Tim Meehan,
Here.
Rich Evans,
Here.
Tiffany Peters, Rob Cross.
Here.
Motion to approve the agenda, absent any additions or corrections.
Harry, I'd like to move, I appreciate you putting the tourism grant on there, but Tom Winter did not fill out his stuff yet.
Sure.
So can we just remove number 9?
Absolutely.
And then we can talk about it in a committee meeting.
So is that a motion to approve the agenda, absent number 9?
No.
No.
We need, my opinion, we need to pull off a few other things on here, and I gotta get my get my bifocal to do this. Resolution to purchase vehicles of water department trucks.
Okay.
We've had no meeting on this at all. We have no idea what's going on. I see there has been a check cut for them. But I think these need to come in front of the committee. I would suggest have a committee meeting or a committee of the whole meeting as soon as possible next week. And possibly even another board meeting to resolve some of these things.
Okay.
Dick, on that one, we've talked about the trucks at great length.
At great length. but
What options are on the trucks?
It's the state bid trucks.
State bid 3/4 tons, same ones we.
Same ones we got last time.
Basically, just power steering, brakes, and air. Tow package, there's no power windows, there's no carpet, there's no four-wheel drive or four-wheel drive. But I have no problem if you want to wait.
At this present time, wouldn't it be, couldn't we talk about buying 2020s instead of 2019s? Because you're only talking about 2 or 3 months. And you'd gain another year. Or when the 2020s come out, these 2019s should be cheaper because they want to get rid of them versus the 2020s. I mean, that's my.
I have no problem whatever anybody wants to do. This isn't, I was just told to start the program now to buy, sell. So really to wait a year is not, then it's going to be a calendar year older. You're going to defeat the purpose of buy low, sell high.
It's a waiting
But-
list. Right now, they got 2 on hold for us, so there won't be any 2019s if we wait. So if we order,
Go ahead.
if we order the 2020s, we'll end up like with last year. We waited and it ended up being, what did we get? It was almost December before we got the
Yeah,
truck.
it's
So
right at December. I have no problem with it. We have talked about it. That's my only thing, and I think Greg even in committee we have. I'm not arguing. I don't care if we wait. It matters not to me, but we have talked about this.
Well, I think one thing that concerns me, and that's not one of the only action items, there's several things on here that when I see the word resolution or ordinance, I think I'm gonna have some paperwork and I don't have anything. And then if I'm gonna vote on that, like ordinance for appropriations, that was awesome, that was in there, so I have no problem voting on that. Because I actually was able to follow along as you read those, and I know that's what I'm voting for. And then that's entered into our meeting as officially a document attached to our meeting, and the public can see that. I have problems when there are action items that the public should have paperwork and we don't have paperwork. So whether we discussed it in a meeting, that's what we're supposed to do, is discuss it in a committee meeting. When we come here, and that's just my opinion, when we come here, we're supposed to vote and I'm supposed to have a document. Because there's nothing in, Megan's not gonna have anything to show what we voted on.
I completely agree.
And I don't know whose job that is, I just know it's not mine. I'm supposed to look over what I get in my packet and vote on it. And I didn't get anything in my packet. And yes, John, we did discuss that in a committee meeting, but I don't have anything in my packet for resolution to purchase
do
or
resolutions,
ordinances
so I-
to sell.
So-
Right.
What's the motion then?
I have no idea. Because as far as I'm concerned, there's several ordinances listed on here. That's not the only one.
Well, I think we're having a discussion there. What are you said that we waited almost, 6 months from the time.
There's 2 ordinances on here. 3, sorry, 3.
Well, I'm talking about the ordinance, the resolution to purchase the vehicles.
Yeah, right.
Right.
You know, do we wait for 2020?
You ordered a new one before, you said?
Yeah, the new one that's
Yeah.
being out there, yeah,
The one, the 3/4 ton, correct?
3/4 ton, yes.
And you ordered it as soon as they came out,
Yes.
and it didn't come till
Well,
December?
not as soon as they came out, no, we ordered it as soon as we approved it, and, which was this time last year, as soon as we did our budget, but it took them until, was it November or December when we got it?
December, yeah.
December when we got it, because there's literally a waiting list for them.
Is it a 19 or is it
It's a 2019.
a, okay.
So we're trading a 19 for a 19?
No.
Well, okay,
I guess,
okay, I think we've talked about this, how we're gonna buy, how we
Correct,
buy
yeah,
them
yeah,
per
yeah,
year,
yeah.
sell them because we can buy at state bid and sell them at market value,
Correct.
which we get our money back. So each year we'll be buying a new truck. After this first year's initial purchase, each year we'll have a new truck again under warranty again for no money because we're selling the prior year and it's four-wheel drive quad cab, so it will, the value is up there. We'll get out of it because we can sell it at market value and buy at our price at state bid. So after that, we'll always go through this each
Sure.
year. Last year, we bought the one, so as of this December, it will be able to be sold, and we could do it again on 20. These were, if we get these now or whatever we do, once these have been purchased and are kept for a year, there are gonna be different time frames when the year comes up to sale.
so the truck that you have right now,
The 19, the quad,
Uh-huh.
after this December, will be able to be sold, and we'll order a 20 next year for it, to replace it. These that we're purchasing now will have to be kept till this time next year. You gotta keep
but they're gonna be a 19, right?
It'll be a 19, yes.
And we have to keep them 1 year
Yeah, keep
per
'em
state
1
bid
year.
rules.
John, what you're saying is, I mean, with the state bid pricing, we can sell it probably at
Right
maybe
now,
possibly what we paid for, maybe even a
Oh,
profit.
more. We looked
Right.
at it a while back, and these right now book for almost 36,000.
Yeah.
Trade
We
it.
paid 30.
Well, that's kind of a no-brainer in my opinion.
Right, so that's the program we're trying to get started here.
I don't think anybody's disagreeing
I know, I.
with the
yeah.
program. It is a no-brainer, Tom. My problem is, it should also be a no-brainer that I got paperwork
Right.
that shows me
And I
you've got
don't-
something on hold.
I don't do that, so I can't.
Right.
Where'd you
testify
send
to
these
that.
to? Cause I just got these
He sent
tonight.
it to email to me.
I didn't get that.
Right, that's
So
what
I
was
can't
saying.
make an ordinance if I don't know these. I'm just trying to say, if that's what we're mad about, I can do this now, but I didn't have this, so now I can make some. If
Nobody's
that's.
mad.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I'm not mad.
I'm
If I
just
was
meaning you're
mad, you'd
saying
know
about
if
the
I was
packet.
mad.
I can't get them in
I'm just
there if I don't
disappointed.
know how
No,
to- what to put on
exactly.
it.
And that's what I think we need to discuss, because I think I've made it clear multiple times. I need paperwork if you want my vote on something. And I think it's a great program. I'm the one that kept saying to all the departments, if you have a vehicle, let's get on the replacement. But then when you just put it on an agenda and that's all I've got,
I agree.
Well, can we table this till
So
August?
just
I
make
mean, and then,
So just make the normal
You don't get rid of that
resolutions
truck
with
till the
these.
end of the year anyway, right?
That one, we're gonna end up with 3 new ones this year. The one we bought last year, and we're purchasing 2 now and retiring 2 of the others.
And the
So what?
We don't have to
what
sell,
is-
we don't have to sell the 19 we have now, we don't have to sell it to
Till
purchase
next-
these. We have 3 trucks that we keep in rotation.
Uh-huh.
One has already been purchased in December.
And we wouldn't
Now
sell
we're
it
gonna
until
do the
this
other.
time next year. We'd sell all
I understand,
three.
I
We'd
understand.
sell all 3 of them next year.
Well, what's,
meet next week, why don't you table it
What's-
for a week and
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
And the most important thing is, Tiffany, do we have the money? Is the money available right
For
now?
that fund, yes. That's a separate fund. It's not general. So yes, they have cash on hand.
Yeah, why don't we just come back Thursday,
That's,
next Thursday?
Yeah, I'd feel more comfortable voting on an ordinance where I know what all the wording is, if that makes sense.
or whatever you've got, if they're on hold, then show us that. Megan's gotta have something to put in her record that.
Well, it's the form ordinance for the buying and selling the vehicles, or the
But-
it's a resolution
I
for
mean,
buying the vehicles.
that's, it might make sense to you, but I've not seen it.
No,
and so I
I'm
can't
agreeing
vote.
with you, so
Oh,
let's,
okay.
let's take it off, that's what I'm
That'd be
asking, is
great.
let's take it off and move on, so we can,
And then, so anything that says ordinance or resolution, I mean, I don't have paperwork on,
The ordinance for the TIF agreement, is that for,
that's to make your guys' vote binding and legal for the 50% tax rebate.
I don't have that paperwork either.
I sent that along.
There's nothing in my, am I the only one that didn't get these things in my packet?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I didn't have anything on the TIF.
Yeah, so I mean, that should have been in there. and
So
it's
I
not.
would suggest taking it off, and then we have a meeting next Thursday, putting it back on and being prepared for it.
I'm keeping track here, so number 3 is the TIF ordinance. 5 is the resolution to purchase, and I assume we want to do 6 for the ordinance to sell since we're
Yep.
not gonna purchase yet, correct?
Yes,
And then number 9 for the boat races.
right. Now, the modifying the gaming ordinance, do we
Correct.
have that finished?
There was nothing that, it's not finished yet, that if we modified, that's what I was sent in the email. I don't care if we wanna table that one or not, because I didn't have Rob change anything unless, we were gonna do that one kinda like we did liquor. That was my recommendation, is if we wanted to change the number
Yeah,
without the actual ordinance in front of us.
The
we would just-
sleeping one's right here. She sent it. I can print it if you would want it. If she sent
no,
it.
we might as well just
on
wait, that's
June
not gonna
18th.
matter any.
It's
or-
not gonna, it doesn't take effect till the end of next year, so no, we have time. But the, just so I can explain with the,
Yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
it actually doesn't take effect for the gaming until January, so we have
Right, I
plenty of.
remember
We
that.
have until, well, the liquor license take effect July 1st, but the gaming won't take effect until January, so we have plenty of time to do that. But my thought is if we're just changing a number from 5 to 6, so if you wanna just verbally do that, and then that way Rob can change the ordinance, so that way we're not spending a bunch of money, whether or not we're gonna change it or not, was my only thinking.
So that one technically is just modifying a current one, but we would then come back and approve another document.
You could.
You
Yeah.
could, yes.
Then I would be okay with that one because we're not approving an actual ordinance.
My only question on that one is, and we can go back for more discussion, again, this is what I said in the email too. We're mirroring state law is what my suggestion is.
Right.
For all facilities except for truck stops was what the state law says, and I could print out the email from Rob. He just, for all facilities except truck stops, it's 6. Currently it's 5, it would go up to 6. And the only thing we can charge them is $25 per machine, so our fees won't really go up, it'll go up to $25. Truck stops can get up to 10. Or if our ordinance will allow, the state is allowing them to go up to 10. We can still keep them at 5, we can keep them at 6, we can allow them to go up to 10. That's completely up to you guys. My suggestion would be mirror the state law, or the state law, but again, that's completely up to you. Or
I think
can-
we all kind of agreed with that the last time, that made the most sense. I mean, didn't we? I think
Well,
so.
when we were talking about the liquor
The
before,
liquor,
I
yeah.
think,
So
so.
kind of, why would we change?
I agree,
For
or
me.
we can table that portion and talk, again, that's totally what you guys are comfortable with, we've got time to do it, so.
What
You
do
do it
guys
all at
think?
once, that's up to you guys.
Did you find out if Love's would qualify for being a super truck stop or whatever they call it?
We think so, yes.
What's the criteria for that?
Well, that's the funny thing is, before they defined a truck stop. Now this new language has what they call a large truck stop, and so far we're not finding, I say we, Rob and I have looked, we're not seeing a difference between the old definition of a truck stop and the new definition of a quote large truck stop.
Right.
I would think there's some difference in there, but I'm not seeing it.
How do you find that out?
We just have to look at it closely.
Just have to look at the two, old one and new one together and see. But what the definition there is, without reading it verbatim, is they have to be 3 acres, they have to have their own separate diesel pump islands, and they have to sell at least 10,000 gallons of diesel fuel a month.
Per month?
If they have they have to have separate large truck parking. And if they have all those, then they qualify as apparently as a large truck stop now. And before, what that distinction is truck stops can have gaming without having a pour license. They could have a packaged liquor license carry out, and have, so no drinking on premises, where all the other places have to have a pour license to have a gaming license. Truck stops are that distinction there.
That's right.
So that's probably why the state said, hey, let's let them have 10, because the people there aren't drinking, so they're not getting as loose and
Well,
crazy.
hopefully they're not drinking.
Well,
Yeah, so according to gaming, and keep in mind, the Illinois State Gaming Board has an officer in our office that's stationed out of our office. So if you have questions, he's a great resource. But according to the state gaming, they're also leaning back a little bit on the providers of the games. They're $25,000 per machine to put in there. And they're saying, hey, he's not gonna put in, you know, A+ Gaming is not gonna put in 10 machines in a place that doesn't generate the revenue that's gonna pay him back for his machines. So part of that is they're leaning back a little bit on the gaming company saying,
yep,
common sense is gonna rule in here a little bit.
yeah.
Yeah, they're just offering that, they may not even do it.
It's
Correct.
But then again, speaking of the revenue part, if Love's is one of our biggest generators, that's where I'm leaning towards. If they're, you know, we've got a truck stop that's bringing in that big of revenue, if they can put in 10 machines and
Yeah.
And keep in mind that revenue isn't as many locals as, I mean, we're dealing with.
that's what I'm just,
60,
exactly.
Non.
That's travelers, and I hate to sound like this when I say it, but we get all the money we can from the passerbys. So
Yeah, sure.
anyway, back taking off 3, 5, 6, and 9. Correct?
Yeah, I don't have any problem with 10. Does anybody have a?
No,
So is that your motion, Dick, or
Yes.
Paula, or whomever?
Yeah, and what about payables? Because I didn't receive payables in my packet either, so I'm not gonna be able to approve those tonight either, so can we add that to another?
Sure.
Is that, if
If
we
we-
have a meeting next week?
Yeah.
I will say, and I do apologize, I did not realize that is my gal didn't get the report out in time, she didn't realize the meeting was early. But I will say also, with all due respect, we all have jobs, and 8 people knew that report wasn't in there, and I think a little more earnest effort could have been made for village business to happen, to let, if that was gonna be a problem, because you have those packets 48 hours ahead of time. So I'm disappointed in that. I mean, call me out on it, of course, but everyone knew, 8 of you knew that you didn't have that also, and I'm always a phone call or text message away.
Yeah, I mean, I text you as soon as I looked in my
Sure.
packet. and
But,
so-
you know, we were one of 8, you know what I mean, like, I'm not, so that's,
I think one of the main problems is you've always had them in there before.
sure,
And,
It was
and
the
hell, I
day.
just assumed it was gonna be in there.
it was a day, and it was my gal,
Yeah,
it was
and
a
it-
responsibility, you know.
And like I said,
did mess
ain't
up.
nobody died, you know,
Sure.
so it's not gonna,
Sure, but like, you know, it's one
Yeah.
of those things, you know.
Well, it'll make us all be more diligent
Sure.
to check it maybe even sooner, check our packets. But I mean, I don't wanna have to vote no on payables, so I'd rather remove them if we could, so I can vote yes, once I look through them. Will that mess you up with checks?
It won't mess us up, you may pay more late fees depending on due dates, but it won't mess our office up any.
I mean, if you guys wanna keep it on, that's fine, but I'm gonna vote no, because I haven't looked at them. And if something's wrong on there, I'm accountable, so that's, you know, for my vote. But you guys are accountable for yours, so you do whatever you guys want.
well, I make a motion, we schedule another council meeting next Thursday or Tuesday.
Yep.
Whatever,
Next
what
Thursday.
days?
Tuesday would be better.
Tuesday's fine with me.
Tuesday, I'll be out of
Tuesday?
town on the 11th, so.
Okay,
We
I
do on
make a
Tuesday.
motion, we schedule another council meeting next Tuesday, which would be what day?
The 9th.
It'll be the 9th.
9th?
And we'll just do the payables on them. That's fine.
Yeah.
There's no issue with it.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Second on the motion.
To a
It-
board of trustees
is
meeting on the
that
9th.
your motion?
Yes.
What time will that council meeting be?
7 o'clock.
So we're removing 3, 5, 6, and 9 from action items and number 2 from the treasurer's report.
Tabling number 2, yes.
Gotcha, thank you. Did you make that motion, Dick?
Yes, I did.
Okay, I'll second that.
go ahead and do a roll call for that, please.
Dick Stample,
Yes.
Todd Ward,
Yes.
Paula Stewart,
Yes.
Jason Hill,
Yes.
Greg Nelson,
Yes.
Tom Jordan.
Yes.
Okay, comments from the floor. Motion to approve the regular session minutes of June 6, 2019.
So moved.
Second?
Second. Jason, you got it. Sign it here.
All in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed, same sign. Any correspondence? No. Treasurer's report, May 2019. A motion to approve the treasurer's report?
We have two of them.
We do have two of them. The April 2019 revised and the May 2019. Let's do them one at a time. Motion to
Okay.
approve the April 2019 revised.
Motion so moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed, same sign. All right, May 2019 treasurer's report.
Motion so moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed, same sign. John, do you mind going over which roads real quick? We're gonna do the oil and chip on this summer?
I'll have to look at my list, I don't have it with me.
Okay,
You want that?
please. We'll come back to it in a moment.
Make it quick.
Chief, other chief, sorry. Traffic flow for this coming week.
So it's on my report, council, but it's the same as in years past. At approximately 9:20, 9:30 p.m. on Thursday the 4th, we will stop all eastbound traffic from South Main on Vandalia to Nichols Park. We do that so that the pedestrians can walk freely without the cars still coming in. The fireworks show starts at approximately 9:30 every year, so somewhere around that time of it starting, we shut down all inbound traffic. They can still get in from the back country way if they're badly determined. But, and then at the completion of the fireworks, the city chief Becker and his officers handle the park itself in Kiwanis Grove. At the completion of the fireworks, South picks up at the tracks. We do a one-way, two-lane traffic westbound from the park to South Main. So we'll have signs, cones down the middle of the road. It'll be 2 lanes going out. And usually it takes us 20, 25 minutes to dump all that traffic. Dick and I were talking, trying to figure out how many people, 3,000, 5,000, we don't have a clue how many people are out there, but it takes us 20, 25 minutes of nonstop 2-lane traffic westbound on Vandalia to dump all that traffic out. So.
How about Hardin Avenue? That'd be 2-way or 1-way?
Hardin Avenue, so in years past, it was closed off. It was very congested. It caused problems. There's no parking on it, so we.
So you close it off at Michigan Avenue or what?
We've chose last year and again this year not to mess with the side roads at all. We closed them down for people coming to the park at 9:30, but as far as shutting those side streets down, there's really no, they're a great outlet when we're trying to get people out of there, so we've chosen not to mess with those. We do enforce, strongly enforce the no parking. We have a tow truck on standby, and if we can't make contact with you, which is difficult when you park your car under a no parking sign and head to Nichols Park where there's all those people, we can't get a hold of you. You don't have to pick your vehicle up at Billstown.
So there'll be no parking on which streets again?
Hardin Avenue.
Just on
Hardin
Hardin.
Avenue and
Southeast and South Clay will not be affected?
No,
Okay.
no. East Vandalia will be, we mark it the morning of, no parking anywhere on East
Okay.
Vandalia. Hardin is no parking anyway, so
Mhm.
we'll just make for sure that's enforced.
Chief? John, do you got that list?
Yeah, bear with me here, because I don't have the list, I just got my map on
Okay.
here. So, just, start here on the west side. We're doing, Greenwood all the way at the end from Lincoln in about 200 foot, 300 feet. We're doing, Coronado at the end, about 300 feet in. Then a little piece on Pendick on the east end up to Church Street. Got the intersection of Pennsylvania and Southeast. We've got southeast off of Vandalia down about 600 feet. Piece of Greenwood from at the end of southeast going east and west. We're doing the main, once you pull into Labor Drive, pull around the back, we're doing that main run. Out south, we are doing Magnolia, where it intersects the Cypress back to the cul-de-sac. We are doing Minor Drive from Willow, going west to the corporate line. And then we're gonna do all of Southbrook Road this year up to the railroad tracks. That's where ours ends. We were slated to do the tracks. We're gonna cut it a little short because the road washed out at the culvert. We're still waiting to hear back from FEMA if we're gonna get any money on that, so I'm gonna stop it short of that.
All right. And before we actually do those, we'll publish it again. so
It'll be
people
published
know.
in the paper, all the streets, and, you know.
All right.
And that does too.
You like,
And that WLDS
sure
too.
will, yep.
All right. Building permits. We had 17 building permits. Busy month. Total estimated cost $90,200. Total permit fee $268. Scheduled committee meetings. I got committee meetings on there, but we also have board meetings. So we're going to do a special board meeting next Tuesday at 7 o'clock on the 9th. And committee meetings. The 25th was one of your days. For the new trustees, we did a training session. I say we, our legal counsel did a training session 2 years ago for once when new trustees took office. I've asked them to dust that off and do that again. So what was the 2 days? The 16th and the 25th. So if one of those 2 days would work for everybody, not mandatory, but I would like everybody to show up. One of those 2 days. If you want to do the 16th, we can do the 25th as our committee of the whole.
It's like 45
It's
minutes.
worth your going.
Yeah, it's about 45
yeah.
minutes. They cover a lot of, it's a real quick, fast, and in a hurry version of some of the courses you could get at the IML. You cover Open Meetings Act, you'll cover,
Efficiency of meetings.
what am I trying to say? FOIA, a few other real quick basic stuff.
Who would be the instructor for that?
Him and his.
And Jeff Wilda. And me. So
Okay.
you've already seen the show.
Yeah, okay.
I'm fine with that.
Either date work out better for,
I liked your idea of the trustee training on the 16th.
16th
And then
works.
just like our regular committee of the whole on 25th.
16th,
That's
what
good with
time
me.
works better for you
Yeah,
guys?
that's fine.
You tell us 6:30. When can you guys be here?
That's fine.
6:30?
6:30.
6:30. 6:30 on the 16th
6:30 on the 16th, and then how about a committee of the whole on the 25th?
at
Same,
6:30.
6:30?
6:30 to 10:30 or 11:30.
Which, there's no budget, so how about like 6:30 to 7:15? I
Can we hold you to that?
We'll try.
Mayor,
Yes, sir.
on the
Ma'am.
16th, I'm out of state. If
That's-
my-
that's
if I
fine.
needed to be there.
That's the one, that's for us, so.
Okay, perfect.
For the special board meeting, that's next Tuesday.
For the 9th, yes.
Can we add a closed session, executive session for personnel, just to revisit some things we've talked about?
Absolutely.
Because Tom had missed the last meeting. That
He
might
did,
be
yes, I
helpful
forgot
to
all
do.
about that.
On the 20th, I missed that.
Yep.
So maybe on the 9th, then we could do a short one and,
Yep, let me
Revisit
make
where
that
we're
note
at.
on here.
And that's still 7, right?
yeah.
Yes.
Are you guys okay with that, a closed session? Then?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay. Now we're going to committee reports, personnel, we've talked about salaries and the salary adjustments gonna be on the agenda here later, so. Planning and public facilities. You guys wanna go down individually what we talked about?
The only thing I wanna bring out is under tourism, there's 6 of these banners, they're 4 foot by 8 foot. I took them out to the race last Friday, which happened to get rained out, but, I'll take them back out to the Morgan County Fair and have them put up different places, but that's what they look right there, 4 by 8. So that's where we're at. And they're reusable, they're not throwaways or anything like this. But it's my intention is somebody use it and use them over to the
Prairie Land also.
and anywhere, you know, so anybody that,
Now that you brought those up, I've got sitting here on my other notes with an asterisk next to that, was I supposed to put that as an action item for purchasing those, or not?
I brought you the bill and it was
It's
in,
in payables.
It's in papers.
Okay, because
Yeah.
I couldn't remember if I did. I was gonna say we could prove it.
I don't
on
think
the
we
ninth,
said
but
we needed one for that.
I didn't think so,
Yeah.
but
I don't
I've got
think
an
so.
asterisk next to it, and I only put asterisks next to them when they're action items, so I must have just been doing busy work, so, okay.
Unless you guys think we do, but
I don't think for something that small, I don't think so.
I forget how much they were, 725 or 650? 750, okay.
yeah, they look really nice. Thanks for doing that. You're sure that's not misspelled or anything?
Like,
Said sec-
my spelling, they're okay. And then I've been taking the Morgan County Fair brochures out to the four, and brought them up here too, but the 4 hotels and all that, and I took out about 50 each, and when I went out there last Friday, I think, they were down to about 10 each. So
Good.
there's people taking them.
Good. Cool.
Good.
Well, in finance, we covered the budgets and everything, so obviously, we just passed our budgets, we're getting ready to do our anticipated revenues, so.
Have we had any problem with the park, the water park, you know, that you want to talk about?
With your new security system?
Nope. Had a little gate issue we got it taken care of, and I think it's been working pretty good since, hasn't it, Tim?
And who was working on that signage? Like there was gonna be
That,
a.
I got a hold of somebody, and then apparently that went nowhere, so I'm
Okay.
gonna contact the other sign place that I didn't
Okay.
contact and go from there, cause,
Talking about the Morton sign,
what's that?
talking about the East Morton sign.
No, we're gonna put a sign on the front, not the gate, but the fence, next to the gate that has the hours, and then we're gonna replace the sign that, I think it's still there, I don't remember now. The one that's on the bathroom, and we're gonna put some
Oh.
park rules, like no
Okay,
alcohol, no
okay.
glass, and some things like that.
Keep it clean.
Well, it's not push or luck, so.
Don't be animals.
Yeah. So,
It'd be nice.
in general, yeah.
And we did, there was somebody out there cooking hamburgers or hot dogs. I guess it's allowable. I never.
There is a,
Charcoal grill out there.
the village put a charcoal grill in the ground next to the pavilion years ago. But Paul had called me and somebody had seen them with a portable
In the gazebo.
underneath the gazebo,
Yeah.
so, you know, you guys need to.
The
decide
gazebo
if,
or the
you know, if you
pavilion?
don't
No,
want
the
that, then that's
gazebo.
something we need to put on the rules is no, you know, cooking
Grills
grills.
inside the gazebo.
Yeah, I actually
Right,
saw
I
it.
mean,
We were
we're-
just
we're
driving
not-
by and
I
I
would
noticed
agree with
their
that.
charcoal bag was
Right,
sitting
it'd be
outside
fine.
that gazebo and I was like, ooh, that's.
The
new.
pavilion, I wouldn't mind, with
Yeah,
concrete
because the
floor,
pavilion had,
gazebo,
but the
I don't-
gazebo, it was, the charcoal was outside, but they had their own
Yeah.
portable grill. They put it inside the gazebo and that's not a really big space. And then you've got wood.
Well, it's all wood, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
So I didn't know if we allowed that. I just thought maybe we could
it's a
talk about that.
concrete floor, but the structure's wood, right,
Yeah.
so it still doesn't need to be in there. There's one out in the yard, they can keep them out there.
You just put
It's
on
not that we
there,
don't want them to have them out in the park, they just need to keep them out of the building.
just put no personal cooking, items or whatever.
Yeah, so maybe we can talk about that.
Send our
at
fire chief
committee
down there with
meetings.
a hose and have him just spray
There
it.
it is. There we go.
There goes that
Ask
public
what they're
relations.
cooking and
Right.
see if we can,
That's right.
depends what you're making, if whether you can keep that there.
I like that. All right, public protection, you guys wanna go over your, you guys, you're our two chiefs here.
So, just real quickly, I think we've touched on everything. One thing that I'd like to point out to the council, and I try to do this every month, and I usually fall short. You guys are the ones that get hit with the amount of traffic stops. You guys are the ones that hear the citizens griping if they're too gripe, long before I will. So I'd like to point that out, and I try to do it every month. 240 traffic stops, 309 traffic stops with 68 citations. We still run about 25% of what those traffic stops are, the citations versus the warnings. And I'm proud of our guys for that, because there's humility, there's humanity in what they're doing, but they're still out there busting their tails, pulling warrants and drunk people and so on out of cars. So, typical board report for us: driving while license suspended, 1 DUI, several warrant arrests. The Godfrey Park system is up and running. It's been very successful. The first 48 hours was trying with the gates, because the gates in the past, when they opened them, they were open. That was the indication that the park was open. Now the gates are closed, so the first couple of days, we were having to hang signs on the gate and let people know, hey, just push, it's open. Now it's caught on and it's going very well. We did have an issue with one of the secure, the gate, if you're looking at the gates, the one on the left is secure, it doesn't open. That gate had gotten slammed around enough with the gate that closes that the post that secured it to the concrete broke. Johnny's guys fixed it the other day. It's solid, it's not going anywhere. So that security, or that system is up and running and truly flawless. It's been great. The new video monitoring for the park, that hardware's all been installed for the park and the squad cars. We're no longer on the county system. This is a project that we started 8 months ago, actually, converting everything over with the laptops that we're buying. We're doing it slowly. We've got another, I'll be honest with you, we've got another 2 years. We're just doing it slowly as budget allows, so we'll continue down that road. But the backbone of that system is up and running very well. Just a notable note, Officer Morgan, as we continue to build the relationships back with the state police and the other agencies around us, Department of Corrections has always been off on their own. We don't have a lot of interaction. We got a call last week from the director, not at this facility, but a regional type manager who wanted to do a detail where they're trying to find narcotics within the prison system. They brought in 100 tactical officers, cleared all the prisoners out of the cells, put them out in the yard. Our dog and the city dog went through the entire prison and had several hits. They had it was a very successful thing. So it was nice that we got included in that. It gets documented as our training, which is huge for the arrests that we're making with that dog. But Luger's doing fantastic. Again, this year we've done it the last 2 years. This is our 3rd year that we're participating in the 4th annual Illinois Speed Awareness Day. We'll have stuff on Facebook and brochures and stuff that they give us that we'll put out. That's July 24th. And the traffic pattern that we already talked about. Anybody, any questions?
Are they gonna, did they approach you or anything, include you about next week on having that deal in New Berlin as far as for the dog, for the canine?
What's in the room?
They're bringing in that big machine that they can see through.
X-ray.
Yeah, what's it called? It's got a name. Anyway, it's a big setup, and I know they're involved in county in it, and I didn't know,
That's Sangamon County, so I doubt it.
I just knew they was involved in Morgan County in it, so I didn't know if maybe they
I'm not.
talked to you for canine, because I know from in Morgan County to Sangamon County, they're gonna be hard at it to get vehicles through that machine. It's a huge one. It's not like the Liberty Bell when they bring out, you know, the.
Yeah, we had that one the other day, actually.
Yeah.
State police for fuel tanks. I haven't heard.
I was just.
Do we need to buy Luger a new tennis ball or anything?
He's doing well.
Good.
Doing very well.
Tim, how about distracted driving as a moving violation? Are you guys gonna start following up on that? As that
Talking
becomes
about
law?
cell phone?
Yeah, cell
So
phones.
cell phone's been primary, nothing's changed about the cell phone. It's still a ridiculous law. We still enforce it because it is one of the laws. The only thing that changed is the points that apply to your driver's license. Nothing changed law enforcement wise. We
So
still do
you,
the exact same
if they get
things.
3 violations within a year, their license is suspended, correct?
Exactly. That didn't change anything that we.
That was already on the books?
No.
But I
No,
mean,
that's-
that was your,
That's an administrative move that the Secretary of State looks at the citation that we wrote, you know, last month versus this month, and they do have a different point system now for it. As far as our enforcement, it doesn't make any difference. It's a ridiculous move that was a knee-jerk reaction. You can still eat a Big Mac, you can still put on your makeup, you can still read the Journal Courier while you're driving down the road, but you can't hold a cell phone up to your mouth. I obviously didn't vote for that, but
They should have
we
just
enforce it nonetheless.
This was something that was from the Chiefs of Police organization, that it should have been, not that law, but should have been a distracted driving law in general, but they
And let
focus.
the officer, you know, decide what that.
That's what he's saying, not that it's ridiculous to drive while distracted, but he's saying it should be all of them, not just.
That's called the electronic device law,
Yeah.
as far as law enforcement is concerned, and it's leaves a lot to be desired. Anybody else, any questions? You driving with your cell phone?
Got anything for us?
Mine's pretty short, just our fall count for the month, 38 calls a month. Pretty close to average.
What's a public service call? Just a question.
That was a smoke detector installation.
Cool. Didn't know you guys did that.
We have, we're signed up through the free smoke detector program, so applies to homeowners who can go out and inspect their smoke detectors and do a little safety thing and install them. All those for free.
Okay.
And just, I won't talk about, you guys may have read it, but one of those rescue calls was we assisted the dive team with the drowning incidents like that.
What do you do when you say install the smoke detectors? What do you do when they gotta be hardwired? Like all rental properties have to be hardwired, so you're able to do that also?
No, these detectors we got are not hardwired. They're a 10-year concealed battery. So those batteries are good for 10 years. We don't do, you know, like a business that has hardwires. These detectors are.
So you just can't, yeah, you better turn it away.
It's mainly focused on residential homes.
Yeah, okay, cool.
You don't do properties, right?
Homeowner, like, we can't do labor drive.
All right. Moving on to action items. Our appropriations ordinance, a motion to approve our appropriations ordinance for fiscal year 2019-2020.
So moved.
A second?
Second?
Roll call, please.
Paul Stewart,
Yes.
Todd Warwick,
Yes.
Greg Nelson,
Yes.
Tom Jordan,
Yes.
Dick Samples,
Yes.
Jason Hill.
Yeah.
If anybody from the public would like to view that, it is published up front.
Mayor, can I speak? I just want to thank the board for that too. In the 4 years I've gone through that, this honestly was, I think, the best year that we've had with budgeting and appropriations and making a real effort to balance. We didn't balance, but the effort is clearly there this year versus other years, so thank you.
It took longer, but I feel that's all I do. I mean,
Have to.
I know there was kind of a Debbie Downer when we said we're gonna go line item by line item, but that's, in my opinion, that's all
That's
I
the way
need to
to
be
get a
done.
good look at it, yeah.
Well, you have to anyway when you got 3 brand new trustees coming in.
A very
And you
good
co-
education for them.
And you come in
Yeah.
right before budget time, that you're gonna have to do it like that anyway, so.
I was unaware that in years past it wasn't done that way, so. Maybe I shouldn't have said that anyway.
All right, our annual cost of living wage adjustment, the federal COLA cost of living adjustment was 2.8%, so I'd like to motion for a minimum of a 2.8 up to 5% adjustment for our non-union employees.
I'll make the motion.
Second?
Well, you said up to 5%.
Up to 5, yeah, the minimum of 2.8, so that way nobody would get an adjustment lower than what the cost of living was,
Okay.
which is what we discussed in the,
Yeah.
right. It's the same thing we did last year, except the percentage, the minimum is lower because the cost of living, the COLA was higher.
But then we
Sorry,
vote
higher.
on all those.
We didn't last year, I just assigned them based on evaluations, and I did most of those from,
Yeah.
the only ones that I did were the department heads, and just
Right.
3 of them, because our fire chief's set by ordinance.
Yep.
And then the rest of them I did based on the department heads' evaluations of their employees. So, I don't think I second guessed any of them last year, I went off of theirs, so.
Okay.
I'll second that motion.
Oh yeah, I guess we're waiting on a second.
Yep.
Yeah.
Roll
Greg
call, please.
Nelson,
Yes.
Jason Hill,
Yes.
Dick Samples,
Yes.
Hang in
Todd
there.
Warwick,
Yes.
Tom Jordan.
Yes.
Paul Stewart.
Yes.
Our annual audit engagement letter, I'm not gonna try and pronounce their name, can you? Zubalin.
It doesn't get easier.
It doesn't, it never.
Well, you got Flynn, that's the easiest one.
There you go. A motion to approve our audit letter, engagement letter.
So moved.
Second?
Second?
Roll call, please.
Who did the first? Yeah.
Dick, I believe.
Dick.
Dick or Jason, one of them.
What's up?
I wasn't sure which one of you did the motion.
Oh, just Dick. There.
Jason Hill,
Got the same way, yeah.
Greg Nelson,
Yes.
Dick Samples,
Yes.
Todd Warwick,
Yes.
Tom Jordan.
Yes.
Paul Stewart.
Yes.
Okay, approval of hire part-time police department officers Brad Rogers and Chris Dowdy. And it'll be, now Tiffany, quick question for you. We take the starting wage, should I add that 2.8% to that because they're gonna get that 2.8?
They won't.
They won't?
It's retro to May 1st.
Okay, so the 1543 was already retro. That,
That's just been the way we started them at.
I know, that's what I'm asking. So if we go that starting wage and we add a 2.8 to that, is that what we've been doing or not?
You can do whatever you want.
Well, I didn't know if the regular part-time guys would get that or not. I didn't know
Oh,
if that-
they'll get whatever they are. That's how we've typically done it, is whatever you assign to them. They'll go back to May 1st based on that, whatever you and chief decide for the ones that were previously employed. Is that what you're asking?
Yes.
Okay, sorry.
The previous ones, they're not
Right.
gonna get, they're not affected by the 2.8 we just did.
They will be.
They will be.
Depending on how you and chief.
That's what I'm asking.
Yes.
So,
Not these new ones, but.
Not the new
previous
ones.
Right.
right, so let's 1586 then, and then we'll go from there. Let me repeat that then. Approval of part-time hires for the police department, Mr. Brad Rogers and Chris Dowdy at 1586 per hour. You can do them one at a time or both together, it doesn't matter to me. Yeah, you can do them both at the same time if you have no issue.
I just say do them both,
Yeah.
and,
So-
I'll make that motion.
There we go.
I'll second it.
Roll call, please.
Todd Ward,
Yes.
Paula Stewart,
Yes.
Jason Hill,
Yeah.
Greg Nelson,
Yes.
Tom Jordan,
Yes.
Dick Sample.
Yes.
That's the same Brad Rogers that was Jacksonville officer?
Yeah, Mayor, if I could speak for just a minute.
Yeah.
Council, first of all, I owe you all an apology. We did bring this up. We did not have a good conversation about this
Yeah.
at budget time and so on, and I apologize. I tried to be great at communication, so please accept my apologies. Yeah, Chris Dowdy is a Secretary of State officer. Used to be an officer in the village, took that job. Again, the Secretary of State, 2 weeks to a month ago, approved under their contract secondary employment. So we're just bringing him back, and we appreciate that. Brad Rogers he's retired from the city police department, took a job with the Department of Corrections as an inspector and investigator. Same thing, he's eligible for secondary employment, came to us and said, hey, I love law enforcement, I'd love to keep my foot in the door. His background of investigations is phenomenal, so he's not somebody you'll see on the streets in uniform, pulling people over for traffic stops, but he will, be a big part of our investigation team, so thank you very much.
He did a lot of our investigations
Yes.
for the city.
Phenomenal.
Full disclosure, I do know Brad Rogers, and his kids played soccer, or his son played soccer with several of my kids, so I don't need to abstain from voting for that.
Your call.
Okay, well, because I've hung out with him socially through soccer, but just as long as you guys know, I've never been arrested by him. So, I don't know him in a professional. Oh, I take that back. I think he helped with the concert
Yeah.
for the city a
You
few
said
times.
arrested by him.
I've never been arrested, Dick.
Is that?
I was gonna say with him.
I have had 2 speeding tickets in my life, but I've never been arrested.
Oh, really? Let's all go through our arrest records.
Yeah.
Number 7.
So at the next meeting, you all need to bring your arrest records.
Right.
Okay, I was just making sure.
I've got mine here.
Oh,
Okay.
there you go.
All right, number 8, do we have an image to approve for the Morton Avenue billboard?
Did we vote on that? We didn't go
No,
through a roll
because-
call.
Yeah, we
Oh,
did.
We did?
Number
I didn't
7.
think we did, that's what
Did
I
we?
was asking.
Yeah,
No, because that's why I
Did
said
we?
I went.
I thought we did.
Oh, yeah, and then he talked.
Okay, we did, she said we
Alright.
did, sorry, I
I
didn't
have
think
that we did. I
She
don't
says
know.
we did, so we did.
You came,
Until after.
all right,
All right,
gotcha.
What did we decide?
it passed,
And I'm just gonna keep my vote as
I
yes.
don't remember which one we approved. I mean,
both of them.
Dick made a motion to do them both.
Brad and Chris, we did
oh
at the
yeah,
same
but
time.
which one? Like, because we had several different options.
What do you mean?
No, there were 2 officers.
Todd
No,
did one,
you're talking billboard now, right?
Yeah.
He's on billboard.
Oh, you're on
Write
board.
that down.
See, we were still talking about officers.
Oh, well.
I thought you said we had several officers. I'm like,
Well,
what?
somebody said Bill, and they said, yeah, we.
Yes,
did.
billboard, approval of image for the billboard, do we have something to look at, or?
We had Todd's, then did anybody
That's
else
Todd
have
there.
another one?
I was not able to get a new one by today.
Okay.
Me neither from Rick, so.
Can you have it by Tuesday?
I believe so, yes.
You wanna table this till Tuesday then?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
Cause
I'd
I
like
think
to
I
see
can have
lunch.
at least his by Tuesday. He
Alright,
can-
motion to table that one till Tuesday then.
Okay.
So moved.
And I'll second that.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Okay, modifying gaming ordinance, motion to modify our current video gaming ordinance to allow all facilities other than truck stops to have up to 6 machines. They currently can only have 7, or currently can only have 5, excuse me. And to allow large truck stops to have 10, up to 10, which would mirror the state ordinance, state law, excuse me. How about I repeat that? Modify our gaming ordinance to allow all facilities except for large truck stops to have up to 6 machines per facility, and large truck stops would be allowed to have up to 10 per facility. And those definitions would be in our ordinance the same as they're in the state law. We just mirror the state law.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Tom Jordan,
Yes.
Dick Samples,
Yes.
Todd Warwick,
Yes.
Jason Hill,
Yes.
Paul Stewart,
Yes.
Greg Nelson.
Yes.
Old business. New business,
Just to clarify, we're going to meet next Tuesday at
7 p.m.
7 p.m. and we will have a closed session,
Yep.
and that's all I need right there.
Okay.
Rob, will you be here for that?
It's up to you.
Do we
Happy
need
to
him,
be.
Harry, for that? That might be up to Harry for closed session, if he thinks we need any attorney guidance.
I'll put it on my calendar. You can tell.
If you don't mind, that way we can just all be updated on the same page, and
Yeah.
that way we don't have to do phone
Well, there
calls
was-
back and forth and everything.
What was it?
It'd be updating personnel we've discussed in the past.
Yeah, cause there was something that we.
Something we might need.
There was, and that, there's an issue that, he can update us all at the same
Right,
time.
yeah.
Perfect,
That'll-
okay.
That'll work out.
Yes, ma'am.
I thought of one other conflict I didn't think of. Audit starts Monday, and they spread out in here the entire week and
Mhm.
lock the doors when they leave. So if you're planning our meeting Tuesday,
Meet at the fire department.
There you go.
Sure.
Sure.
is that
Just make sure you
okay?
post it.
We'll have to post it since it's at a
Okay.
different spot, but yeah,
Is that okay with her?
Yeah, sure.
Okay,
Yeah.
I hate
At
to
the
mess
fire
with
department.
them.
we'll put that
Yeah, they
in.
got a big meeting.
They've got a nice meeting room
So
in there.
we'll make sure, media, make sure we're
Tim?
noticing that on the 9th, and we'll put that in bold when we put it out there.
What is the address of that fire department?
So it's the meeting, just action items and closed session.
Tim,
The meeting will just be action
Yes.
items and closed session.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, good deal.
Under new business again, motion to approve,
To approve.
motion to adjourn.
A second.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right.
So,
All
we need to
opposed.
work.